Not only are Inter fans sad, so are Marseille fans. We got one with us right now, Stefan. Stefan, happy you're with us, of course. The smirk, you're probably sad with that smirk, you know, disappointed to see PSG not only win the Champions League, which the only French club to do that prior was Marseille back in 1993, but they now have become the first French club to win the treble. And that's maybe got to hurt a little bit more.
Do you know, I didn't know that part. I hadn't actually heard that. So, yeah, that does hurt a little bit. But I think we have to accept that this was always inevitable.
Hey, I don't know. I think you're on pause. Is your mic open?
It should be, yeah.
We can't hear Stefan, but I'm sure you're saying... So, well, I could probably guess what he's saying. I'm pretty sad. This is the worst.
Go on, Stefan.
All right, Stefan, start over again.
Because we could
start over.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yeah.
I'm saying that I didn't know about the treble, so that isn't good news. But I think that we have to accept that this was always inevitable. With the money, the resources that PSG have had since Qatar bought the club, we knew that this day was coming. I think we OM fans were always dreading it, but you know, I'm not surprised. I think before the game, I knew that this was likely going to be Paris Saint-Germain's night tonight. I will just remind you, before I start, I will just remind you that we did it first. Marseille, 1993, first ever French club to win the European Cup, and that will always remain a record. Can't be broken.
Stefan, mate, you sound as English as me. Please explain the connection to Marseille, geezer, because I don't hear no French twang in your accent.
I'm, as you can probably tell, I'm from Scotland. But my father is from the south of France, so I grew up as a Marseille fan and probably got into football, I think, around about 91, 92, when Marseille were one of the strongest teams in Europe. So, and it's kind of just stuck with me all my life. You know, when you fall in love with football and you pick a club, I think, you know, it's a lifelong commitment. So that's kind of how I found Marseille. And I'm from a podcast, so we do an English language Marseille podcast called the Marseille View, so that's kind of what we're representing tonight. The rest of them were all too scared to do this tonight, knowing that PSG were probably going to win it.
All right, so Steph, so this is the big one then. So now if Paris Saint-Germain win today the Champions League and they've done the treble, as Jimmy said, does that make them the biggest club in France then? Are you going to bow down?
Well, they're not the biggest supported club in France. That I think that remains Marseille.
I wasn't asking for that technical aspect.
You have to accept that.
Don't go numbers, technical, and you know, globalization and marketing doesn't count. So,
yeah, I accept that they've now won more league titles than Marseille, so they've broken the records. But we'll always be the biggest club in the hearts of the French football fans.
All right,
mate, what's love got to do with it?
We appreciate you. Allez. Good luck next season. Hopefully you can knock PSG off of their perch. That's Stefan, everyone, who's also going to be joining in the sadness of Inter fans.